All right, we're probably live, so I'll go ahead and start talking. Hey guys, Mike Healy here. Listen, I am so excited to have with me today for an impromptu interview. Didn't get any notification, but I've got Brian Victor from Trinidad and Tobago on here. He's one of the top networkers in the entire world. Really does some amazing things. I got to show everybody something just real quick. I'm going to pop something up, and I am going to go solo on it. So let me. Okay, I'm gonna go solo on this. I'm gonna show my screen real quick. I want everybody to see this this picture here. This was one of Brian's meetings that he'd had before, and I just posted this so people would see this. I mean, that's incredible. So let me get us back on the screen again. So we're gonna go solo off, and I'm gonna take that off of here. And then we're good again. We're back on here. So, Brian, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be on here. I appreciate it.
Pleasure is all mine, Mike. Pleasure is all mine. I am so excited to be part of the iBoomerang family and to be on with you. I mean, what I've seen has been tremendous. Absolutely tremendous.
Yeah, so I wanted to, because we're not going to take a ton of time on here, but I think it's an important thing that we can do is I can interview you. Now, Brian, you have so you have been involved in not only direct selling networking very, very successfully. You've got a traditional business, you do marketing and things like that. Can you give us just a brief history of like your background, what you've done? You don't have to necessarily name any companies, but kind of the things that you've been a part of.
Yeah, sure. I can definitely. I've been in the arena of sales and marketing for about 30 years. Started out at the age of 21, and my background is a bit of insurance, a bit of direct sales. I have been in several different industries, focused on sales. Been at the top of the sales career as well. I do enjoy that. My passion is the transactions of the marketplace. My entire being is centered around customer satisfaction. I think the most important thing you can do, Mike, is satisfy your customers and build your reputation, and by extension, you build your brand. I've also ventured into sales training. I've done a number of sales training throughout the entire region. I have trained a couple thousand persons in terms of sales and marketing and how best to treat with your customer acquisition, customer retention. I've done a number of that. And then I forayed into the arena of health. I jumped into health as well quite recently. I had a health company going back about 2 years, and simply because I partnered with a doctor friend of mine. But my real passion, however, that was more management than it was sales. So I decided after having done that to then revisit what I consider to be what I'm most passionate about, Mike. I started my networking career almost 20 years ago, actually 21 years ago. I was fortunate enough to be mentored by one of the leading networker in the region, Pastor Garth Sinnett, my mentor, took me under his wing 21 years ago, and we built some mega companies. We built some mega teams, as a matter of fact. Sadly, passed away almost 2 years ago. Broke my entire heart suddenly, and I'm still recovering. But I know with his stewardship and his guidance that we always look for certain companies, we always look for certain product lines, and we always look to build a team that is built not only on the God factor, but the good factor. That we always look out for our team members, and we pay homage to the company for allowing us the grace and the pleasure of working with them. So my career goes back 20 years, and I have been pretty fortunate. I must make mention of a couple of individuals who I know are on, and that is Gavin Cornwall and Richard Cornwall, two of my leading team members. They are my right and left, and these guys are phenomenal individuals who will be partnering with me on this amazing journey with iBoomerang. And more so, I know that Stanley Hoyt, who's another great networker in Trinidad and Tobago, and he'll be on as well.
Awesome. So just, I mean, if you don't mind, what was in the one company you had that you showed some of this, what was like the size of your organization, like that you developed?
My organization was over 3,000 networkers or 3,000 distributors. the entire size of the organization in Trinidad would have been about 10,000 distributors.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so that's like beyond the realm of what a lot of people can comprehend. But here's the thing: is you were mentored by somebody that understood this, and what's nice is being around that kind of mentorship. You've been able to pass that on to people that join your organization, and develop leaders and things like that. And you told me about one of your passions, that you've actually been in your region in Trinidad and Tobago. You've really been one of the, I guess you could say, the biggest cheerleaders, proponents, advocates in a positive way for people developing, their own independent businesses. They call it kind of now a gig economy. A lot of people are looking for that, as ways to supplement their income. But you were telling me you've got, Trinidad's a fairly wealthy country. But you told me that there was a lot of doctors that are now unemployed and things like that, can't get jobs. And you're bringing something to your area that is desperately needed, correct?
That's absolutely correct, Mike. Our economy has shifted somewhat. We are the second wealthiest nation in the Caribbean, and followed only being outstretched by the Bahamas. We are oil-rich country. We were, until the oil, the price per barrel per oil plummeted a couple of years ago, and our economy has taken a bit of a hit. Not a major hit, but we have taken a hit where we have seen the rise of unemployment. We have seen our major oil company shut down about 2 years ago, and that plunged a lot of skilled workers and managers onto the breadline, and it created a sort of gluttony market. And the downstream economy also suffered. We've depended on oil. More than 75% of our revenue was generated from oil. So when that transpired, a lot of the downstream economies suffered as well, and unemployment rose. So you had major companies that shut down, and a lot of senior individuals as well as junior employees were put on the breadline. That is one area that we recognize that iBoomerang could be quite helpful. I'll tell you why. Your good philosophy.
Yeah, I want to actually talk. Yeah, I want you. I'm going to lead you. I want you to lead right into that. Sorry to interrupt you, but I want you to tell everybody, because you are a professional in this industry, and you understand not just networking but traditional business economy. I mean, you're a real big business professional. What is it that appealed to you, not only for yourself personally with iBoomerang, but most importantly, what you could do to help people that join your team, kind of thing? Like, what is it that you saw, and just kind of share that with us?
Most definitely. Give me 1 sec. Folks, bear with me. I just need to get this plugged in. I know we are live, so I'm allowed to do things like this. So I'm going to get it plugged in. So
okay, you're plugged in. I'll talk for a second. I'll wait for you to come back. It's all good. So we'll put the timer running. But it's pretty amazing to see what Brian's been doing. And recently, he just got in recently and told me about some things. I'm going to have him share those with you in a second. As soon as he grabs his plug, he'll be right back. We'll probably need about a minute. There he is. Oh, we went sideways. He'll be on here in a second. So you didn't. Sometimes video, people don't realize how much video pulls the juice out of your phone. Okay, you're good, right?
I'm back, guys. I think I am back. Hopefully, I am in and I am back. Sorry, folks. My humble and sincere apology.
That's okay.
Right. I think we are good.
It's live, so we're good. So
we're good. Thank you a lot for your patience.
No problem. So
Mike, your question was what drove me to, what propelled me to iBoomerang?
Yep.
And because and to be quite frank, I looked at iBoomerang since last year, August. I started to investigate because I love to research companies. Myself and my team were aligned to a previous company. But what we recognized and what stood out for me is what both yourself and Holton would have spoken about. The fact that for a very long time, a lot of persons were disenchanted with network marketing. A lot of persons were disenchanted simply because the revenue and the commissions that are generated didn't redound all the way down to those who were performing, who were working pretty hard. They were not seeing those profits because of several factors. We had to clean up the industry, and iBoomerang spoke volumes of that. I had networkers who were diligent, who were hardworking, but could not seem to break through to the other level. And it was painful to them. And it's painful to me as a leader because I know they were really, really working hard in the trenches. What stood out for me is that we have had too many products that were overpriced. One of the major things about a product line, they're heavily overpriced in the network industry. And that is something has to happen simply because of the residual income that pays all the way down and the varying levels. So those are the areas that stood out for me. Secondly, we were looking for a product that had intergenerational value, a product that could carry through to the next generation, a product that would be here for the next 50 years, a product or a service that we can offer to someone that they can not only benefit from but save, but at the same time appreciate heavily. We call it the Vicks, Band-Aid, and Colgate philosophy. And I want to share that, I take a minute and share that with you guys because I think that is important that we understand what we're doing. It's called the Vicks. I don't know if you have heard of it. It's heavily marketed in the Caribbean, Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with it?
We have it here.
Vicks Vapor Rub, Colgate, and Band-Aid.
Okay.
Each one of those products has been in our lives for the last 50, 60 years. They have been used over and over again with consumable value that has outstretched for generations. And we wanted something that could convert like that and add that value not only to our customers, our distributors, but to the wider community as well. And when I looked at iBoomerang, it spoke volumes of that entire philosophy of reach. It's going to reach beyond all of us on this call, reach beyond our kids. iBoomerang, because of what it's about to do, and considered one of the blue oceans within the network industry, is going to outstretch and outstrip most of all the current products that are out here. What we have to put behind that is commitment and dedication to service.
Yes.
What I love about iBoomerang as well, Mike, is that good philosophy. We, within the industry, are well conscious and financially intelligent. We talk about wealth all the time. We talk about getting wealthy, buying cars, buying homes, but that is a bit played out. And when I saw your good philosophy, I was blown simply, and I told my team, our first mission is to get people out of debt.
Yep.
That has to be our first mission. Nothing else stands out for you. It has to be to get people out of debt. And if you're able to do that and it resonates with you, Mike, we are going to be able to save a generation.
Absolutely.
In Trinidad as well in the wider Caribbean, we are heavily indebted. We are heavily indebted. Credit card debt is up there. Mortgages are up there. We have something in Trinidad at a time we play skip. You skip a bill every month. You skip a bill every month. And if Trinidadians, oh, they know what I'm talking about. You pay your cable and you skip your electric bill. When that comes up, you pay that. And that is happening. We are still a wealthy nation, but there are a lot of persons who are struggling in debt. And that should be the first mission of my iBoomerang team here on the ground.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even think about asking you those questions. But what's really amazing about an opportunity like this is that everybody has to start somewhere, and most people that really don't understand it at like the level that you and I play at, don't realize that how much a few $100s or a few $1,000s a month to pay off those debts can lead them into that financial freedom. I mean, it's all about freedom. I mean, if you owe people stuff, you're a slave. I mean, the borrower is slave to the lender, and if you right, and you get stuck in that. So that's a great point. So let's. I want to ask you a quick question. Might not be quick, but so you've built businesses. Like we've addressed this earlier. You've built really big organizations before. You did your research on this for a few months before you decided. You contacted me. You realized that I had some systems in place that you could implement. We knew how to do some things a little differently. Where do you see yourself going with this? Okay, you can tell about you, and then maybe talk about what you plan on doing with people that join your team.
When I looked at this, I saw the gamut of what could be done as a global business. So my objective getting into to iBoomerang was to, first of all, let a number of persons realize their dreams. A lot of persons in Trinidad love to travel. We are a Trinidad and Tobago, and let me just put a plug for Trinidad and Tobago. We are the most southerly island in the Caribbean, hot sunshine, great atmosphere, fun-loving persons. And in a month's time, we'll be celebrating our annual festival called Carnival. We say it's the greatest show on earth, and I stand as a living, walking testimony to it. So it's the greatest show on earth. So we will have about 100,000 visitors flying into Trinidad, and approximately another 50,000 who do not participate in the festival, leaving the shores of Trinidad and Tobago.
Wow.
And those would be our target market. Those flying in, those flying out, who have booked. And it's those on the call right now. It's not too late to book. Go online, go on YouTube, look up Trinidad Carnival, and you will be totally amazed. It's a 2-day street festival, a parade. It's wonderful. And when I looked at what is happening in Trinidad, I understood too the region. The Caribbean has about 30 million individuals, and it's spread all the way up the entire chain. Sorry. I have traveled all of those islands. In my last dispensation, I was able to travel to all those islands. So I have a network throughout. I am now able to map those islands consistently in a formatted way to ensure that iBoomerang is spread throughout. My objective here is to give myself the 18-month stretch, if it takes that long, and I'm aiming for Black Diamond and beyond. That's my objective. My team, however, has to participate in this entire rollout, and we'll be systematically rolling out island on island until we're able to map the entire Caribbean. I see that as a reality because this is a borderless business. We are in the frontier that is striking gold. That's online. That's where you need to be. E-commerce is the way you need to go. We are a bit behind in terms of our e-commerce access in Trinidad because we are still a bit pedestrian. We still like to walk to the banks. We still like to walk to the supermarkets. We do all of those things that you guys would probably do on your phones, on your tablets, etc. We pay our bills, still physical, but we want to create that culture of online business, online marketing, and entrepreneurship. That's what we are here to do. So my task, Mike, is to build a team as huge as possible and build it as wide as possible with a lot of reach under the iBoomerang umbrella.
That's awesome. And you obviously, what's nice too, is you understand that it's such an easy thing to talk about because we're just talking about travel. We're not asking customers to spend money that they weren't already planning on spending. We're just asking them to spend less. So that makes sense. And then as the company, as iBoomerang rolls out other verticals, everybody's checks are just going to start to just go like this for the same work. Like you're going to be making money here, but they roll out another vertical and your check goes to here, and they roll out another vertical and your check goes to here, let alone the establishment on this. So Brian, I'm so excited that you joined.
Thanks, Mike.
The team.
Another area I found, Mike, that what caught my interest. Many a times we are able to attract persons who may not have our personality, our training, our experience. There are a number of persons within the networking industry, and I have studied the industry. There are 100 million distributors worldwide. The industry is almost 60 plus years old, and I've studied the industry because we needed to add that viability. Most of us here on this platform need to understand the gamut of the networking industry. Networking industry generates close to $600 million. We're almost a $600 billion. We're almost $1 trillion industry. Those are the things we need to know because it validates who we are. If you're part-time, if you're full-time, you're part of this industry. Know your industry. So when you get out there and there's an attempt to badmouth your industry, you can represent us in the best way possible. There are 100 million of us out there doing this every single day. Be proud. And if you're here and you're still in the business, Mike, our team needs to be part of that because there are a lot of those who have who have been eliminated from it, who have left this gauntlet, who have just had enough. If you have stayed in this, be proud of yourself. And we want to cater for those guys, Mike, who may be tech savvy, digitally inclined, but they may not have the suave, may not have the gift of gab like myself and you and several others in this group, and may not be able to speak as fluently as us within the industry. Those are the ones who could do well in iBoomerang because it's so digital. With all of the platforms you guys have created, myself and Gavin Cornwall and Richard, we all have been in the sales arena for years. And we are blown away by the ease of access and the fluency of all of the various platforms that walk a customer from interest to registration. Well done, guys. Well done.
Excellent. Well, Brian, thank you so much. You are fantastic. So excited. I got a lot of people. I'm going to get this video on YouTube. I'm going to get it on my other Facebook page.
I am psyched.
Yeah, I'll get you a copy of this. And, you know, obviously, if anybody's down in that area and just randomly runs into this video, they should get a hold of you. But Brian, thank you so much for being on here. You're
pleasure is all mine. Honor and pleasure remains mine, Mike. It's an honor to be part of your team. And guys, I want to make this plug for Mike. I selected Mike. I looked at about 11 to 14 other leaders. I was directed to them. And I looked at all those leaders. I said, I want Mike. Definitely, Mike. I want to thank you for having me on your team. It's really an honor. And we're going to represent iBoomerang in the Caribbean. We're going to do our best. And we're going to have you guys down here in a couple of months. And the excitement is on.
Awesome.
Boomerang to the world.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Brian. Have a great one.
We'll be back
shortly. I appreciate it. And everybody have a good one. And don't let this, let the wave miss you. Don't watch the wave go by. Go after it. Thanks, guys.